What is up, nerds? Today, I'm going to give you a very important lesson on the Minecraft Annihilation game mode. Now, Annihilation, probably one of the most fun Minecraft games I've ever played. I have played quite a bit of it, and I'm just going to teach you how to play today. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go on to shotbow.net. That's the server that all this takes place on. So just go into your Minecraft account, go into multiplayer, add a server, shotbow.net. Once you're in the lobby, you can use your compass, right click on it, and you'll get a pop-up. Oh, the end block is Annihilation. Click on that and you'll enter the lobby, then use the compass again to join a game, and then you're really done. Well, you're not really done. There's still the entire game to play and everything. So, first thing that you're going to need to decide is your team. Now, honestly, it doesn't really matter. Just join a random team. Unless you're with a bunch of your friends, have all of them join the same team. Or maybe if you were in a game with someone and they were really good and you want to play with them again, try and be on their team. Then after that, you're going to need to decide what class you're going to be. Now, this game has a bunch of classes, and they're unlocked in different ways. Some of them you have to purchase using Shotbow XP. Other ones you'll get just for ranking up within the system. Some of the best classes are earned by ranking up, such as Scout, Miner, Alchemist, Archer, etc. So, ranking up really is important. It's not just pay to win. Well, it kind of is, but yeah, you get what I mean. Then, you've also got other classes which can be purchased for Shotbow XP. You earn XP by doing stuff within the game. You earn XP when the game is finished, depending on how well your team did. You also earn XP whenever you kill an enemy player, or whenever anyone on your team, including yourself, hurts an enemy nexus. So yeah, you also get 3 of the classes you don't have unlocked. You get them for free, and that rotation changes every week. So make sure to try out those classes. They're usually better than the civilian that you start out with. So once you've decided that, you can vote for a map. Since you're new, I wouldn't worry too much about voting for your map. But then the game's going to start, and you will have no idea what to do. So let me educate you on what to do. First thing, you're going to spawn inside of your base. Now, your base is different depending on your map, but your base is a couple of important things. It's got a nexus, an ender furnace, it's got walls, presumably, and there's going to be mines around it, as well as open terrain. Now, the nexus is the thing that keeps your team alive. If the nexus breaks, your team loses. Each nexus starts at 75 HP. If you break another team's nexus, their HP goes down by 1. So basically, it's kind of like a bed in Bed Wars, except you have to break it 75 times. Which can seem hard, but if you have a golden efficiency 5 pickaxe, it goes pretty quickly. Then, Ender Furnace. Now, you've heard of an Ender Chest, but have you heard of an Ender Furnace? Now, these things are totally rad. They're basically an Ender Chest in that you have it, it's like linked to your player, and other people can't access to your Ender Chest. Now, each team only has one Ender Chest, so it's not like you can use it for extra inventory space, but you can use it to store important items or whenever you're smelting gold or anything like that. So yeah, that's basically your base. Around your base, there's going to be multiple different mines and other resources. Now, you're going to want to get food. Food's very important. You're going to want to break melons. Melons are an easy source of food. You can also break wheat wheat and make bread, and I'd recommend replanting the wheat, otherwise people get mad. So once you've got food, you can go out to the mines. Now, you'll find the mines, they have resource blocks of the respective types, which means that once you mine the block, it turns into cobblestone for a period of time, then turns back into the block. So that means that you can keep mining whatever you have. So you can go straight to the iron, mine all the iron, go to the coal, get the coal, put it in your furnace, bada bing, bada boom, armor, kill them all. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that. All three other teams are your opponents. They are trying to kill you, and you are trying to kill them. So just don't die. It's that easy. Alright, so the game is split into 5 separate phases. Phase 1. The Nexus is invincible. That means it can't be broken, and people during this phase are basically just gathering their starting resources. You might have scouts running around and mine raiding people. That's when they attack you while you're in a mine. Making sure you're safe in a mine is very important. I'll get to that in a future video, but always make sure that you've got a good sword and that you're ready for anything while you're in a mine. Then, phase 2, now the Nexus is not invincible. You've got to protect it now, because if it goes to 0, your team loses. And, although you don't, if your Nexus breaks, you don't instantly die, you just can't respawn. And you also can't win the game. So, if your Nexus gets destroyed, and you really want to, you can go on a revenge attack against the team that destroyed you, which sometimes is really fun. It's almost as if your team is coming back from the dead. Alright, next, phase 3, probably the most important phase in the game. Phase 3 means that diamonds spawn in the middle. And also, I believe that's when witches spawn. Now, in the middle of the map, there's a contested area called Mid, where in the early game, it doesn't have much. There are 9 iron blocks there that you can mine to get an early start, but those are pretty hotly contested. But during the mid game, diamond resource blocks spawn in mid, which means that mid is a very important resource that your team wants to control in order to get diamonds so that they can outclass other teams in the late game. So, yeah, getting a mid base is very important. You're going to want to try and do that, or at least try and get some diamonds while you're out there. But I would not recommend going all Rambo in there by yourself, because you will get slaughtered. In Annihilation, communication is key. Make sure you use the chat. You might not have voice chat with your fellow teammates, but you still have Minecraft's chat system. And be wary, however, that other teams can read your chat messages. So make sure you're not saying anything too revealing. Okay? Sounds good. Also, witches spawn during this period. Witches are some of the only sources of gunpowder and glowstone. So killing them just allows you to accumulate those resources for potions later. Now, phase 4. Phase 4, the wither spawns, or just the boss in general, and also blaze powder can be purchased from the brewing shop. Now, first thing is the boss. Now, there's a multitude of different bosses. You can enter them from the boss portals on the map. There's 2 boss portals, one for each pair of teams. And once you're there, if your team manages to kill the boss, every single person on your team will get an item called the boss buff. They can use it, and they have a selection of really powerful items they can pick from potions, to armor, to weapons, to tools, all of that stuff. So, killing the boss could be a huge advantage. Only problem is that the bosses are pretty tough. So, if you do manage to kill them, then you're going to be in pretty good shape. Other than that, blaze powder can be purchased at the shops. Now, your team has 2 shops. They are signs on your base, and if you right-click on them, it'll open a shop. You can spend gold to get different resources, such as iron armor, tools, bows, stuff like that. Also, you can, in the brewing section, you can buy a brewing stand and all sorts of brewing supplies. Because potions are extremely important in this game, especially in the late game. When there are extremely large rushes, potions are going to be important for getting your success in the team. That's what makes the Alchemist class and so many others very good. And now, Phase 5. Now, Phase 5 used to cause double Nexus damage, but now instead what happens is it causes something called Nexus Bleed. This means that every 45 seconds, each team will lose 1 health. This is just meant to make sure that the game keeps going and that teams aren't just turtling up. So now on to some strategy. Yeah, strategy is important. So as I mentioned before, communication is key. If your team isn't communicating, you're not going to win. It's that easy. I must say, the games which I do the best are which when I have active teammates which are talking to each other regularly. Just having that communication between your team is very important to make sure that every base is being covered, because there are many things that your team needs to manage. Other than that, just try and don't die. Just remember, in this game, there is no weapon like recharge, so you can just keep on clicking and keep on swinging. There are some other tips and tricks I know. If you ever see potion bubbles with no source, attack it. That means that there's an invis player there. And invisibility potions are some of the most powerful in Annihilation. Allow someone to sneak into your base undetected. So those are very important to be able to spot. Some classes can spot them, like the Mercenary, or the Swapper, or the Immobilizer. But yeah. So yeah, now you know the basics of the game. You're ready to get out there, show everyone what you got. So yeah, good luck out there, everyone, and I hope to see you around. Theta, out.